Do you ever play a video game and don't even know why really? That's what happened to me with these two games. Yeah, it's Pachinko, but it's not normal Pachinko. It's Pachinko with cute anime girls. That makes it way better, right? And its name is Pachinko Sexy Reaction, which makes me a bit mad. It doesn't flow as well as Sexy Reaction Pachinko. Why put the Pachinko first? But here's your little public service announcement that you should never ever gamble. Don't even think about it. Unless you're a huge content creator and a big company gives you a huge deal so you can stream it to a bunch of young, easily manipulated people so they get hooked onto the website you play on, so they end up with a crippling gambling addiction that will eventually lead them down a dark path in life. But hey, you earned some cash despite already having tons of it. But that's what matters in the end, right? If you have watched a bunch of anime, you probably know what Pachinko is, or if your favorite video game company is Konami, or also if your favorite Mario game is Sunshine, the dreaded Pachinko level where you gotta collect those beautiful 8 red coins. I think the hate for their level is a little bit overblown and not as bad as people make it out to be, but it can be pretty annoying. I wonder if there are people who never even found that level. I know nobody asked me, but I think the one where you gotta go to the island with Yoshi and the boat is way worse because it's just extremely boring and takes such a long time. But yeah, that's Sunshine, not Pachinko. But if you don't know what Pachinko is, let me explain it real quick. It's a bit like pinball, but just very different. You shoot a ball up the board and depending on the board, you want to have it land in different holes on the board. Let's take the first board in the game as an example. You basically just want your balls to land in the middle opening at the top to spin the slots to then get a row full of the same symbols, which will lead to explosions all over the screen because now you're gonna hit your balls into the bottom doors on the screen. If you close them all, then you get a short, silly, lewd picture of the girl on your screen before it starts the next round where you can just do the same again to get more pics of them. Now you might think, wow, that's pretty damn random, and yeah, that's gambling after all, but you can still influence your balls with the little knob you got, just like the one in your pants, the thing in the bottom left here. The more you push it to the right, the farther right they go. Middle strength is in the middle obviously, and left is left. On the Switch controller it was extremely hard to get the strength right, because it was so sensitive, and that's probably my emulation issues, but you know, you can't really not emulate arcade games. I don't have the money to buy arcade machines. We don't even have arcades here. But, you know, and to be honest, in the first game, it does not really matter to begin with. You mostly just gotta hit the balls into the middle, and I played the game extremely wrongly. Why? Because I could just keep spinning my balls. I just press my button and watch the balls go and go and go. But this is an arcade game, you know? Normally you have to put in a coin to get another continue. Now when you emulate arcade games, you can just press a button to get more continues without wasting any money. You only get 100 balls and have to make sure not to waste them by mindlessly shooting them. But since I didn't have to pay money, I could just spam without having to worry about wasting them. To win, you need to get the specific amount of balls, like first you only need to get 600 balls, then 1000 and so on. So that's basically Pachinko, and let me tell you, this game kinda made me understand why people love these flashy casino machines so much. They make sounds, they flash, bright colors, all in hopes to make you addicted to them because they give you such a happy feeling when you hit the jackpot. But instead of making money here and winning prizes, you get anime girls putting on different costumes. That's how you get people like me to play Pachinko, I guess. Not like I would ever spend real money on it though. Now you're probably excited for the most important part of this game, the story. Yeah, this game actually has a story. While I can't read Japanese, I do have a brain that sometimes works, so I can piece the story together because it has extremely short cutscenes. You are a man that loves women. Just like me kinda. Maybe a bit too much. Because you go on dates with way too many women, 3 to be exact. At the start you can pick a girl to begin with, but it doesn't really matter which one you really pick, because afterwards you just go on a date with the next girl anyways automatically. You got a cute schoolgirl with pink hair and massive tits. You got a cute blue-haired girl that is a tomboy with massive tits. And you got an older office lady with massive tits. So if you're a fan of flat chests, the game is not really for you. Or maybe it is, a little bit, but I will talk about that in a little bit. I love saying a little bit. Maybe it's because I'm pretty little myself since I'm just 5'2". But there are more than just the first 3 girls you can pick, which you unlock later. I love surprises. The big titty office lady has 2 more sisters who I guess get interested in you because of their sister, because who wouldn't love a slimy dude who goes on dates with multiple girls and is good at Pachinko? Because you use the money you win at Pachinko to buy these ladies new outfits, but only the first 3 girls. The sisters actually strip for you instead of you buying them new clothes, and then put on a new outfit at the end of it instead of it changing with every round. which is a bit sad. I prefer women with sexy clothes on instead of them being nearly naked because that's less variety. Especially since the first sister also has the best normal outfit of the game. I just really love those short jean shorts. And the second sister actually has a stage where you gotta use your brain, a little bit. Because here you gotta hit the balls into the bad side and then aim at the other thingies that open up to destroy them, and if you destroy them all, you get this little cutscene that looks like a spell animation from an old school JRPG. No, just hit the balls in the big opening and boom, cash out lots of balls and make her strip. And that's the game. It was somewhat enjoyable, but it would never make me want to try out real pachinko because I know gambling is a waste of money. Can't say that often enough, but there's a second game, and it changes two things. First, the art style, it's just a disaster, mostly due to the faces. Just look at them. The first game had a really cute pixelated art style, while this one makes you think you're watching an extremely low budget hentai. Like, it's not totally bad thanks to the bodies, but I can't see past the faces. They're just too bad for me to enjoy, which is a shame because the girls look cute as heck in their sprite forms that show up on the actual boards. It's just that in the cutscenes they really make you think you're playing a horror game instead. They also got more exotic fetishes this time instead of just tomboys or schoolgirls, like a girl from a marching band even though she works at a zoo, a feral tiger girl kind of girl which isn't really a tiger girl sadly, a McDonald's waitress, and some more like a girl stuck in one of those huge mascot uniforms, which you gotta unlock, but I have no idea how. Maybe you need a high enough score, but I played through it once and she only showed up in the credits, and I didn't want to play through it again. Secondly, we got the different boards. Now every time you trigger a jackpot, you get a different little minigame instead of always just trying to hit the balls into the doors. Here you gotta hit the chuck and then feed him with balls. Ha, I wish that would be me. Here you gotta break open the ice blocks to free the penguins and so on. It adds a bit more variety and it actually forces you to actually think about where you shoot your balls during these minigames. But nothing groundbreaking really. While the first game may lack this kind of better gameplay, I still prefer the first one just because of the art style. I mean, you don't play these games for the gameplay too much, right? You want to see sexy anime girls getting naked or putting on new outfits that make you all hot and bothered, but it's just too impossible with these faces. And you know, I'm a fairly shameless person in my own personal space, which means I can watch all the loot stuff I want in my own four walls and hacking love looking at half naked or naked anime girls, but in a public space? No way. So while I was playing it, I wondered, how did people play this at an arcade? Did they just not care? And this isn't the only loot arcade game, there's tons of them. I could never do that myself, even if there's only other nerds around me. There's even bare nipples, pretty typical back in the day, but nowadays it feels like fan service. Never quite goes that far anymore in anime or video games, but that's a topic for another day. And the game also made me sad that here in Germany, something like arcades were never truly a thing. I would have spent most of my childhood days at one with friends if they existed, but maybe it's a good thing that they didn't exist, or else I would have wasted too much money of my little allowance on them. I tried finding pictures of the arcade machines, but I could not find any at all. Maybe I suck at using Google nowadays, or maybe it's because Google sucks ass nowadays. I hate what that website has become. What I found though was an eBay auction where someone sells this arcade machine sub-ROM motherboard with a panel, whatever that really means since they didn't add any real pictures of it, for only $1,000. So I guess if anyone wants to get the authentic experience of playing Pachinko Sexual Reaction 2, they can buy it and build their own arcade machine with it. Maybe I should buy it myself and open up my whole own arcade. I would do it if I would be rich. Sadly, I'm not. But you know what you are? Rich in love. So if you enjoyed the video, you can give the video a thumbs up or even a subscription. It would fill my heart with love too. Actually, it wouldn't really. So you don't have to if you don't wanna. Have yourself a good one and always remember to never ever gamble. Unless you're playing the old Pokemon games and really need to grind out some points to get an Abra.